Chuck Daly didn't just coach, he tested greatness. See how he would tear apart LeBron's GOAT claim.
I think that I did a small video for the NBA, and I talked about the fact that, if I can do it, anybody can do it. But the bottom line is that you start out as a very small high school with no notoriety, no one knows who you are, and work yourself up through the ranks. It just shows what you can do, no matter what line of work you're in. It doesn't have to be coaching. It might be broadcasting, might want to be a lawyer or a doctor, but the work ethic and the determination and the willingness to stay with it. I have a strong feeling about the fact that a lot of professions...
What Chuck Daly might say about LeBron's GOAT claim will shock you, and it's probably not what today's fans want to hear. The legendary coach who built the most dominant defensive dynasty in basketball history had a philosophy that would completely tear apart the modern GOAT debate. When you understand how Daly measured greatness, toughness, and what it truly takes to win a championship, the conversation around LeBron changes entirely. This is a perspective nobody's talking about, and it comes from a man who broke Michael Jordan, rebuilt him, and forced him to become the greatest of all time. Picture it, 2009. Daly is on the sidelines as the LeBron versus Jordan debate starts to heat up. LeBron just won his first MVP at 24. The hype is real, and the Jordan comparisons are everywhere. But Daly, the mastermind behind the bad boys, the architect of the Jordan rules, the coach who made grown men fight for every inch of the court, he sees something different. That he sees a softer era, a player who hasn't been tested like his generation was. And he knows that true greatness is earned under fire. That let's break down what Chuck Daly would really think about LeBron in the GOAT conversation.
Really? Who's better than Phil Jackson?
Chuck Daly.
Why so?
He had to deal with Dennis Rodman, Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer, John Sally, Mark Aguirre, Rick Mahorn, James Edwards, John Long. That's Adrian Dantley, Joe Dumars. Hey, that was he.
Chuck Daly wasn't just a coach. He was a psychological warrior, a defensive genius, and the ultimate gatekeeper to greatness. When he took over a struggling team in the mid-1980s, nobody expected what was coming. Back-to-back NBA championships in 1989 and 1990, the bad boys weren't just winning games. They were physically dominant, mentally relentless, and so destructive that they changed how basketball was played. Daly's philosophy was simple, but brutal. Make them earn it. Every basket, every step, every breath. His teams didn't just defend, they attacked. They punished. They made opponents question whether the pain was worth it. This wasn't just a coaching strategy. It was Daly's core belief about basketball and life. Anytime he went by you, you had to nail him. Daly once said about defending Michael Jordan. Not foul him, not touch him, nail him. That's the difference between Daly's era and today's game. That's the lens through which you would have viewed LeBron James. Daly passed away in 2009, just as LeBron was entering his prime. He never saw LeBron's 4 championships, his finals appearances, or his statistical dominance. But based on everything Daly believed, everything he taught, and everything he valued in a player, we can piece together what he would have said. And trust me, it would have changed the entire GOAT debate.
Had what they called the Jordan rules.
We came up with that saying with Jordan because this is what Chuck was saying. If Michael goes to the basket, put his ass on the ground. And I put his ass, because once he get up there, you got to hit him. You got to hit him. I mean, every time he went to the basket, we hit him and stuff like that. So, and I say again, I got a lot of credit, man. I mean, like these players today, man, they don't really respect how tough it was to play in that era. You know how tough it is when you have to go to the basket and get your teeth knocked out.
To understand Chuck Daly's perspective on greatness, you have to see what he did to Michael Jordan. The Jordan rules. 3 words that still send chills down the spines of anyone who watched late. ADS basketball. This wasn't just a defensive scheme. It was systematic torture designed to break the spirit of the league's most talented player. The moment Jordan touched the ball, he got hit. Not after the shot, not during the drive. The instant his fingers touched the leather, someone was on him that if he drove to the basket, it wasn't just a foul. He got clotheslined, elbowed, knocked to the ground. Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer, Dennis Rodman, Rick Mahorn, they weren't just defenders. They were enforcers, and Daly orchestrated every single collision point 3 straight playoff eliminations. 1988, 1989, 1990. Jordan, the most talented player in basketball, couldn't get past Daly's wall. The frustration was visible. The pain was real. After one brutal playoff loss, Jordan was even seen crying in the locker room. But here's the key. Daly wasn't doing it because he hated Jordan. He was testing greatness, separating the talented from the legendary. You don't crown someone the best until they've survived the absolute worst. Jordan responded by adding 15 pounds of muscle in the offseason. He stopped trying to do everything himself. He trusted his teammates. He developed a post game. He became mentally unbreakable. And once he finally broke through in 1991, he never looked back. 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, 0 finals losses. That's what Chuck Daly built. Not just champions, but warriors who earned the crown through blood, sweat, and refusing to break. Now imagine Daly watching LeBron's career through that same lens. Daly believed basketball was a man's game, not in some outdated toxic sense, but in the way that true greatness required physical and mental punishment most people couldn't survive. His teams didn't just play defense, they dominated it. They led the league in fewest points allowed, in personal fouls, in flagrant hits before flagrant even existed. Daly never apologized. The game is won on defense, he'd say. Anyone can score when you give them space. Champions are made when you take everything away, and they still find a way. Now look at today's NBA. It's beautiful in its own way. Spacing, three-point shooting, offensive creativity, pace. But it's protected. Hand-checking? Illegal. Contact is limited. The grind, the punishment, the raw test of will. Daly's world doesn't exist anymore. And that's the lens he would use to judge LeBron James. Hard fouls are flagrants. Touch a player's head and you're ejected. The physicality that defined Daly's era? Completely gone. Here's the controversial part. LeBron James has played his entire career in a protected era. Think about it. 6 feet 9 inches, 250 pounds of pure athleticism, one of the strongest players ever. And yet he's grown up in a league where officials shield offensive players, flagrant fouls are reviewed, and you can't throw your body around without consequences. The Jordan rules? Illegal today. Every single aspect that, when people ask, could LeBron survive in the 80s or 90s? Daly would have a very specific answer. And it's not the one LeBron fans want to hear. But here's the twist. Daly wouldn't just question whether LeBron could handle the physicality. He'd question the mentality. That said, Daly would absolutely recognize LeBron's greatness. A 6 feet 9 inches forward with court vision like Magic Johnson. The ability to defend multiple positions. A basketball IQ off the charts. For championships, for finals MVPs. All-time leading scorer as of 2023. Longevity that's unprecedented. Playing at an elite level for over 2 decades, Daly coached the 1992 Dream Team. He saw Magic, Bird, Jordan, Barkley, all the legends in one room. He understood greatness when he saw it. And make no mistake, LeBron's resume speaks for itself, but Daly also believed in context. He believed in how you won and what you overcame. And this is where the cracks in LeBron's case would show under Daly's scrutiny. First, the finals record. For wins, 6 losses. Daly's philosophy was simple. If you make it to the finals, you win. Period. Jordan went 6-0. Daly's own teams went 2-0 in the finals. There's no moral victory in losing on the biggest stage. Those 6 finals losses, especially 2011, would be a huge red flag for Daly. LeBron averaged just 17.8 points per game against the team he was supposed to dominate. He disappeared in the fourth quarter of multiple games and was outplayed by Jason Terry in crucial moments. For a coach who made Michael Jordan cry in the playoffs and then watched him come back stronger, LeBron's mental collapse in that series would be damning evidence. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Where do you stand on LeBron's GOAT case when you view it through Daly's eyes?